What's up, y'all?
Hello, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back to y'all hearing this. This is the podcast episode.
Podcast version.
This is episode 10.
I know.
Oh my God.
I know. I can't believe we're already I feel like it's flown by, and also this must be episode 100 at the same time. I know.
Right. Whoa. We are literally on episode 10. This is absolutely incredible.
I know. It's awesome.
It's been so fun.
So much fun.
It's been so much fun. There's so much learning. We're learning more about each other.
Mm-hmm.
We're learning more about music. We're learning more about what everybody likes to hear. It's been absolutely incredible.
It really has been.
And if you haven't seen us yet, my name is Honeybee, or you can call me B.
And my name is Kay. Thank you guys so much for coming back.
Yes. And so like I was saying, we are a music appreciation podcast / YouTube reaction channel.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do every week is we have a theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then with that theme, we each pick a song and we react to each other's song. Then we do this, our podcast episode, where we get into the nitty gritty. We kind of break the song down.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a little say what section where we talk about, anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just kind of, leave you on a good note.
Right.
And and then we just kind of go from there and, until the next episode.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there are so many ways. Well, first of all, thank you for all of your support. It has been so amazing. We have loved every second of it. And we love that you're loving it. So thank you. Dope. But there are so many ways that you can support us. So one, you're already here. You're watching the podcast. You're listening to the podcast. You're doing something with the podcast. So that's great. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you.
Absolutely. Like, subscribe, comment. If you're listening to the podcast, please, subscribe and rate and review.
Yes, rate and review. Yes.
That really helps it get out there because we want to share this with everybody.
Yeah, we want to share the wealth, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
We want everybody to be all up into it.
Absolutely. And check the description links. We've got a Patreon up. We're doing some different things on there. Music, movies once a month. We're doing polls, all different stuff.
Yes.
We also have a merch shop up, which is awesome.
Yes, y'all better get y'all merch.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right. A little bit of everything. A little bit of everything.
Trying to look, you know what I'm saying? Trying to be out here sporting in these streets, girl. You know
I know. So much fun. Yes. But seriously, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for everything.
Yes.
It has been so much fun.
It's super duper dope.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a very new territory that we are going into. And it's been, when you start something new, it could be a little scary. And it's just been amazing. It really has just been amazing.
I know. I think we were a little nervous, maybe that first couple videos. But then after that, you know us. We're not exactly formal here.
Right. But we just got to get into it.
It's almost like a dream because let me tell you, if you know me personally, you know I have made you watch a movie. I have made you listen to a song. I have made you read a book. I have done, because I love that so much because I love sharing what I am so passionate about with other people.
And hopefully, them finding a connection. And then in turn, it goes back with the idea of what music does. Mm-hmm. It's it brings people together. And same thing with books, movies, all of that. It's the same idea. And it's just you find something else that brings you to a common ground.
I love more than anything when I'm with the person when they're either watching or listening or whatever because I'm like, do you like it?
Right. Wait. So
what? Wait for this part. Wait. Oh my God. Let me tell you a little tidbit about this part. And it's, oh my God, it's amazing. You should watch all the behind the scenes shit. And yep.
Listen, the way that you are with that is how I am. Specifically, I'm but when it comes to cooking.
Oh, nice.
And my friends make fun of me because they're like, all right, let's taste it now before Chris asks. Oh my, because I'm always like, how is it? My mom used to do that.
The cooking channel with Chris, yeah.
My mom would sit there and be like, how is it? You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it good? Mm-hmm. And she would just sit there and wait for you to say something. And I'm like, it's good, Mom. It's good, you know? And she'd be like, okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. And now I do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I get what you're saying. This week, we chose something that brought us together.
Yes, yep.
And so the theme for this week is karaoke go-to songs.
Yes.
Oh My gosh.
We love karaoke. We love it.
I mean, we love karaoke. It's all about having fun.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know maybe some of the things about karaoke, some people take it very seriously, yes. But karaoke actually stands for bad singing. And it's about having fun.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's about not taking yourself seriously. It's about living in the moment. And again, music bringing people together. You know what I mean? And I definitely can attest to this. There are songs that I would hear on the radio or I would fall in love with and I'd be like, damn, I wish I wrote that. Or damn, I wish I would have came up with that. Or I wish I would have been the singer of that. And then I almost feel like you kind of live that dream through going to karaoke.
Absolutely, because so few people like make it in the music industry or whatever. And I mean, of course,
millions of talented people in this world.
There so are, and I mean, I have never like seriously made any sort of attempt to do, but it is always that dream in the back of your head. You know, when you grow up and you're in all the different choruses and choirs and things like that, and you're always told like, "Hey, you're a great singer," and blah blah blah. And then so karaoke is kind of a way of like living that out without living that out. So it's nice to be able to like, I don't know, get up and like perform a little and like, I mean, not make a big, I don't make a big production, but hey, even if you do, that's great.
Even if you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's just so much fun. And it's kind of like my creative outlet because I'm one of those people, I'm not like an artist, like I can't draw or paint or anything like that. I'm not really a great writer. I'm a great editor, but not a great writer, but I love being around that creativity and just appreciating it. And like, I feel like that's a way.
Feeling those juices like flow.
And,
you know what I mean?
When you're doing a karaoke song, you know that song so well. You have listened to it hundreds of times. You don't really even need those words, but you still use them as a crutch mostly.
And you make it your own.
You do. And I love that.
That in itself is being creative.
True. That's true. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like, and that's the cool part about it. Is like, even though you feel like, let's say, I'm not super creative, I'm not this and that, it's like you are being creative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's in you. I think it's in everybody. I think it just comes out in different ways. Some people draw. Some people edit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people cook.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it comes out in different ways. And I think that's basically, like, I feel like that's what our episode this week was about. It's about just remembering, like, you could still be creative and you could still find individuality amongst these amazing songs that are done by these amazing artists.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because in that moment, they were being creative. And in that moment, they were bringing forth their individuality. And now they've created something that helps you do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just love karaoke so much. It's so much fun.
It's so dope. So
yeah, you gotta tell us what your song was.
So my song for this week was by the incomparable Monica. And it's a song called Angel of Mine.
Such a good song.
And so, as you know, we're going to give you little backstories about the songs or the artists. So Monica, side note, a lot of, like, when you hear me talking, listen, I am literally a music freak, right? So I'm going off the top of the head. Like, when I was a kid, I used to, like, spend time on the computer researching my favorite artists and finding out who did this and who did that. And if you watch the very first episode of y'all hearing this, you hear me talk about how I used to always just read the liner notes and like I used to always buy the album so I can read who did what. And so a lot of the stuff that I'm going to say is literally off the top of my head from memory. And then also, I'm going to kind of go back and forth between some things that I took out. So I'm going to, put it in my own words.
That's right.
But Monica is an artist who came out when she was really young. I think she got signed around like 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like she was like 12. And I think her first album, Miss Thing, had so many hits on it. And it had, Why I Love You So Much. And it had Before You Walk Out of My Life. And then it had her debut single, Just One of Them Days, which I think came out when she was 13, 14.
Wow, really?
You know what I mean? Like, she was young.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't realize how young.
Yeah, like, she was almost like JoJo, how JoJo came out young. Like, it's just that idea. Brandy, too. And then her second album was the one that really just shot her into the stratosphere. And she was already going in that direction because after her first album, she came out with the massive ballad that was produced by, I believe, David Foster, and I know it was written by Diane Warren, and it's a song from the Space Jam soundtrack called For You I Will, which was like...
Oh, Space Jam.
Oh my God. Everybody get up. It's time to bam now. While she, after she did that, she was in the midst of growing up, and she started recording her second album. And while she was in the midst of recording her second album, which I'm going to tell you the name in a second, because I want to give you a little history real quick about the song choice. So I chose a song off her second album called Angel of Mine. So just to give you a backstory real quick about the song, Angel of Mine was actually, and I did not know this, is actually a cover by Monica.
Really?
The original was by this R&B girl group. They're British, and they're called Eternal. And they actually recorded 2 brand new songs for their greatest hits album that came out in 97. And during that time, Monica was doing her song. So kind of jumping back over to Miss Monica's song, which was really interesting because the fact that the song came out in 97 and Monica recorded it in 98, it's like, you know, you hear people doing covers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I personally, I feel like I've never heard anybody do a cover that close before.
So just a little tidbit from a couple episodes ago. So Joni Mitchell, when we did Both Sides Now, she had written the song and then another artist covered it, but then she covered it like a year later. So it's kind of like a cover of her song.
No way!
Yeah.
That's
so yeah, and it was really only like a year later.
You know what? Actually, side note, Bridget Kelly is an R&B singer, and she actually does like podcasting and whatnot. She actually, her first debut single was called, oh my God, think so. Thinking about
karaoke, sing it.
I'm sitting there thinking about, I think it's called Thinking About Forever. And then that song was actually written by Frank Ocean.
Oh, nice. And
Frank Ocean did it originally. Bridget came out with it, and then Frank ended up coming out with it as well.
That's
like
funny.
The same time. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. So Monica's version of the song is on her second album, which is titled The Boy Is Mine. Now, The Boy Is Mine was kicked off by a massively huge single. That was by Monica and Brandy.
Oh, I love that song.
And it made history. They won their first Grammy with it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that, yeah.
So it was a big deal. But so going in terms of Angel of Mine, The Boy Is Mine came out first. That went to number 1 on Billboard Hot 100. Then Monica's second single off of The Boy Is Mine, which was some people would consider the first, is called The First Night.
Okay.
That went number 1. And then third was Angel of Mine. So Angel of Mine came out in at the like kind of towards the end of 98, beginning of 99. And it was produced by Rodney Jerkins, who is world renowned. He in itself is just an incredible producer. He's really actually known to be like the sound of like the late 90s, early
R&B
2000s.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's like R&B. It's like futuristic R&B. So it was let's see, songwriters. So it was Rhett Lawrence and Trayvon Potts who wrote the song, and Rhett Lawrence was actually a part of the actual original song that was by Eternal.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So and this song was actually bought so Rodney Jerkins was producing it, and he ended up going and working with this song and everything in the album with Clive Davis, who Clive Davis is, you know, as known as the golden ear, like the godfather of the music industry. He was in charge of Airster and was in charge of Monica's project. So that's where, you know, all these you know what I mean, things were happening and everybody just threw it in the pot, and next thing you know, Angel of Mine comes out. And, you know, some of the things that I read about the song was that they were just so blown away by her delivery, and they actually ended up changing some of the lyrics just so it kind of related more to American audiences and related more to her, because she was a 16, 17-year-old girl recording it. So when the song finally came out, I believe she was like 18, 19, and they were so blown away by her delivery just because of how young she is, but her voice is just so powerful.
It is, yeah.
So, you know, it ended up going number one. So Monica made history for herself as having an album that had the first 3 singles go consecutively number one.
That's awesome. So that's really cool.
Yeah, so it was like a really big deal and a really big part of her career. And Monica has stood the test of time now. And like, you know, Monica is just...
Can you imagine being like, oh, you know, I've got this deal, blah, blah, blah. Who's doing it? Clive Davis.
Right. You know, no big deal. No big deal. What are you doing? Oh, I got to go to the studio, you know.
Yeah, Clive and I are, you know, we're just hanging today. We're going to come up with some ideas.
Chilling there.
Yeah, Clyde, you know.
And at the time, too, you know, a lot of people who don't know, Monica was really close with Whitney Houston, and so it makes sense because Clive Davis discovered Whitney Houston, and you know, their relationship, it kind of, when I think of Angel of Mine, I almost feel like when I hear it now, I almost hear Monica singing that. Like, it's about, you know what I mean, the song itself is about falling for somebody who is either close to you or whatever, and just looking at them in that, you know what I mean, in that light. And I almost feel like she sings that song, and when she does, it makes me think of Whitney, and basically like Whitney is her angel, you know what I mean? And it's funny because it's just, there's so many stories that Monica talks about. Like, Monica, you know, unfortunately saw somebody commit suicide right in front of her. Oh my goodness. And so she kind of was like horrible. So she was like a recluse, like she wouldn't come out and stuff. And she, you know, Monica is from the ATL, and she stayed in the hood. She talks about it. She was like, I was in the hood. Like, you don't be driving down these streets like in a nice car. And she was like, Whitney Houston drove down in this blacked out SUV, had a escort security guard, opened the door. Whitney got out, was like, where's Monica? Monica, where you at, girl? Screaming in the middle of the street. Talking about, girl, come here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like that bond. It's like whenever I hear Angel of Mine, I just think of her singing that to her. Like, that's her angel. That's her, you know what I mean? So,
that's...
Isn't that like, it's just so sweet. Right. So, shout out to Monica. Shout out to Rodney Jerkins. Shout out to everybody that was involved in the song. Clive Davis, like, you created a classic, right? And to Miss Whitney Houston, of course. Yeah. So, yeah, that was my choice.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a good song. I hadn't heard that in ages and ages. Yeah, I know, because the first thing I do think of when I hear Monica is Boy of Mine, but you know, or That Boy Is Mine, I'm sorry. But yeah, such a good song.
It's such a good song.
Yeah, it really is. And it's kind of like simple, but like, you know, her delivery of it, like you were saying, is just really great.
It's just the delivery of it, and I think it's just, you know, and I'm actually kind of interested in hearing the original, because I've never heard the original.
Eternal, so, I know, we should check it out.
I think that'd be super dope.
I know. We've talked about that before, a theme of like originals to songs, like big songs that we might know. You know,
that might have been like
so many.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
So many.
So many.
But yeah, I'm glad you guys liked it.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Girl, tell me about yours, because you know I've been waiting for this.
Yeah. Yep.
Come on.
So for this week, my choice for the podcast was Uninvited by Alanis Morissette. I love it. I love it so much. We were talking a little bit in the reaction video. I was able to go see the Jagged Little Pill tour. I love that album. I know this one's not off of it, but my love of Alanis stemmed from that. I remember watching that video for You Ought to Know, where she's like in the desert. And I heard that, and I was like, what? Yes. What? And then I heard it was about Dave Coulier. You remember that? I think it's been like said that was real for sure now or something. But anyway, and you're like, what? No, you're what? Like, excuse me, how old was he? How old was her? Really? But yeah, it's a little like, yeah. But I love that album.
Yeah. That album literally made history as one of the biggest top-selling female albums in history.
I have to say, I went to karaoke one time. It wasn't at Gallery. It was at another. It was like this little VFW hall or whatever. Because I was living with a friend in Riverside, and someone got up and did a song. I think they did "Perfect" off of it, which wasn't a radio hit at all. Every girl in that place sang that song. Every girl in that place knew every single nuance, word, note, like everyone. It was so funny.
That is the power of music.
Yeah.
The power of music.
Yep. It was so much fun. I remember singing my face off to that song. I love it. But anyway.
Yes.
So Uninvited came out, a few years after Die Little Pill. This was actually off of the City of Angels soundtrack.
I was going to say, I remember it being on a movie and I couldn't remember why. And now I understand why I felt like it sounded so angelic.
Yes. Yep. So, that's it exactly. Yep.
Have you seen City of Angels?
I haven't, but
I haven't either. That's why I was like, I remember it, but I don't, like, you know what I mean?
I had a friend who spoiled the end of the movie for me.
Oh, no.
I can't. So here's my thing. Like, if I'm like getting into a show or whatever, but it's already like done, and then I hear that it's a bad ending, I give up on the show. Like, I can't. I'm sorry. I know sometimes.
See, I'm the opposite. I get that though.
I know sometimes it's the journey and whatever.
And it's also the eye of the beholder who's watching.
Yeah, but I'm sorry if it's like a bad ending. Like, I really loved like I watched probably about a season and a half of Lost, and I was like, this is so cool, whatever. And then I heard it was such a bad ending. I was like, I don't want to put in that time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Like, I want to save it for something I like know I'm gonna love. The whole way through.
I did it with The Sopranos, but I ended up. But see, I'm different because I also really do believe it. It comes down to the person's own preference. So, you never know. But also, I get it. Because if you know or you hear multiple times that it's going to be bad, ciao.
Well, that's it. The Sopranos, I knew. Right. I know it was very ambiguous or whatever. And I was like, you know what? And I probably watched like at least 3 seasons of that. And then I was like, yeah, I'm done. Right. You know what was super good? I don't know if you've ever seen 6 Feet Under.
Do you know that I have that saved for the longest time, and I still have yet to watch it, but I heard that it's about a like a family mortuary. Is that the right? Is that the right word?
Yep, mortuary. Yep.
Mortuary. Yep. Okay. Yep.
That show, it's so good. It has the best final episode of any show I've ever seen in my entire life. My favorite. If I need a good cathartic cry, I watch it. Because it's kind of a happy and kind of a sad, you know what I mean? Because it's an ending, but I won't go into like details, but it is.
It sounds.
The
really
whole
good.
show is really good. It's by the producer. Also did American Beauty. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Whoa.
Although Kevin Spacey.
Whoa.
Whoa. But
still a good movie.
Yeah, it really was.
That movie was a good movie, but it was also a little disturbing.
Yeah, well, that's it. So the show is it's dark. It's about a family of morticians. You know what I mean?
I'll talk about American Beauty.
Well, that too. Yeah. But it's very dark, but like also so good. You know?
Like it's just oh god.
Did you ever watch American Horror Story?
I watched the first.
Did you watch Coven? The witches.
Yes.
The woman with the red hair, the witch.
Yes.
She's the mom in the show. Yeah. She's awesome. She's amazing. Yeah, I
love her.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have to watch this show.
And the guy who plays Dexter on the Dexter, he's in that. Michael C. Hall.
Yes, he is. And I remember that. Because I remember somebody saying, if you have... Because the whole reason I got into 6 Feet Under was because somebody was like, have you seen Dexter? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I haven't seen Dexter before, but I do know. I think my brother was really like, oh my God, the show is dope.
It's a great premise. Super great premise, yeah.
Oh.
But anyway, we're like so off topic.
We're so on. This is us. But anyways, go ahead. Back to City of Angels.
So anyway, I haven't watched it because someone spoiled the end for me. And not that I think it was bad end, but I was like, you know.
Right. It was like,
was Nicolas Cage in that one? Was that Nicolas Cage? I can't remember. I know it was Meg Ryan.
City of Angels? I think it was. I'm about to look right now.
I know.
I'm pretty sure it was Nicolas Cage.
Now, you know what movie I do want to see? This is, again, random and off topic. Is that one, the one where he's in it, but he's playing himself because it looks so ridiculous. But anyway, because he's a hit or miss type too, you know?
He really is. It is Nicolas Cage.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Which, oh my God, I didn't realize how young Nicolas Cage is. I thought he was like.
Did you ever see Moonstruck? Oh, we should watch that. I love that movie.
Oh,
with Cher.
I haven't seen Moonstruck since I was like 6.
Yeah, I love him in that.
We should watch that.
I love him in that. It's so good. I love it.
Oh my god. Look, we could have a whole episode about like soundtrack, like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway.
When the moon is sitting. Anyway. That's the morning. So let's get into this a little bit. So it was released as the lead single from the 98 film. That's so funny. Both 98s.
Mm-hmm.
City of Angels.
Oh my god! 98, yep.
Mm-hmm. It was written by Alanis Morissette, who also produced the song with Rob Cavallo.
Mm-hmm.
It became Alanis' 4th #1 single on Billboard's Top 40 mainstream chart. It also peaked at number 4 on Billboard's Hot 100, number 3 on Billboard's Adult Top 40, and number 26 on Billboard's Modern Rock Tracks. According to Billboard, the song has sold more than 7 million singles.
So dope.
She won 2 Grammys for this song in '99, Best Female Rock Vocal Performance and Best Rock Song, and it was also nominated for Best Song Written specifically for a motion picture or for television. It also won an ASCAP Film and Television Award for Most Performed Songs for Motion Pictures, including today, and received a Golden Globe nomination for Best Original Song Motion Picture. But yeah, she's, amazing.
She's absolutely incredible. I'm over here looking, actually, because I was like, I feel like, was this song featured on anything else as well?
So this, let's see. It's saying that there's some songs that sample it, but none that
Because I remember, because for some reason in my mind, I thought that this song was also added to her. It makes me, when I hear this song, right, it makes me think of her, would it be her second album after Jagged? Mm-hmm. And it's the one with the super long title.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I always think that this song is on it. And I think I get this song mixed up because it's like that same feel I get when I hear Thank You. And I think Thank You is on that album.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, because those 2 songs, I almost feel like they could be relatives.
Yeah, as far as I know, I don't think it's on an album of hers. I think it's just on the soundtrack.
Just the soundtrack? That's so dope. That's so dope.
Yeah.
I feel like, I wonder, I've heard that name before. I feel like we're going to hear it again. Rob Cavallo?
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to hear that again. I feel like he's done a lot of these big type of songs like this.
Yeah, I wonder if he had something to do with the soundtrack itself, maybe.
Ooh,
maybe.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a good choice.
Yeah.
I love Alanis. Alanis is one of those artists who I remember watching old videos, and I think it was her Behind the Music on VH1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love, which, side note, if you have Paramount, like streaming
Is it on
service,
there?
They have
all the old ones.
I haven't seen if the old ones are on there.
Okay.
I think they are because they brought back the Behind the Music again. So it's like they have a whole new season and everything. Like it has like J-Lo and like Fat Joe, Busta Rhymes. It has like a bunch of people. I think Pink's on it.
Nice.
I think Duran they did like a bunch of people. Right.
Hello.
But I remember watching Alanis's episode, and I remember her talking about like how her style had like changed, and it's like she's just one of those artists that can adapt to anything. And they played this old video where I don't know if she did like some sort of like Vegas type of show or she did some sort of like singing like review or whatever. And she was singing like pop standards and she was belting like she was like Whitney Houston. Like, and it blows my mind because I'm like, yo, her range is ridiculous. And it's like, you hear something like this song and it's just like the control and like the song. It's just, she's one of those artists that are just, she's a legend and she's gonna stand the test of time. Like, she's so dope.
She really is. So I know I actually won tickets to go see because they did a 25th anniversary Jagged Little Pill tour and it was like Garbage opened up for her and stuff. I won tickets to go see this show and then the pandemic happened. And so it did get rescheduled. I ended up not going because it was still like early days of things being open again, and I just wasn't feeling comfortable because that's a lot of people, so I didn't end up going. My cousin went, you know.
She said it was good.
Yeah, but I follow Garbage and List on all the different things, and it's been fun to kind of live vicariously and see, you know,
the good things about, you know, this day and age on the internet.
Absolutely,
you can always get caught up on what you might miss.
But yeah, can you even imagine what a great concert that would have been too? Garbage and Alanis.
That's incredible. Hello, the 90s are calling.
Exactly.
We're gonna throw you
and Shirley Manson and Alanis both still, they just look amazing, and I love it. I love it so much. Yeah.
That's such a good choice. Thank you for sharing, girl.
Thank you.
Yes. You know what? Since we talk about karaoke, why don't we switch gears over to our little say what? This is a little, you know, section where we talk about anything and everything before we close out the episode. And Kay came up with a really good idea. And since we were talking about karaoke, she's like, why don't we tell y'all how we first met?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, you know, because it's very karaoke adjacent.
Right? So we used to go to this really, really well-known club that was like a staple here in Rhode Island that had a couple of, what's the word where you constantly reinvent yourself? Because I know it was
iterations, had a couple different locations.
Yeah, it had a few couple. It had a little bit of everything. You know,
it was one of those places that wasn't, you know, it wasn't like your going out dressed all fancy type of places, but it was.
But you still went and got dressed up to impress, like.
And it was like one of those
significant others.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, look, this place had a massive outdoor patio.
It did, yep. And I was a smoker at the time.
Right? Yep. It had a dance room that had
like little stages, and like a little
cages
stairs.
That you could go in and dance in. Then there was the third room, which was the Latin, R&B, 90s, hip-hop
I had birthday parties in there. Yep.
And then they had the main room that had, it was almost like a little mini Billards. Like, there was like a couple of, like, a few pool tables. And then they had, like, a bar area. And it was just something else. But it was called Club Gallery. And it was right off of Point Street. Okay. And it was the spot to be, and specifically they used to have that Saturday night, which was girls' night.
I went like once or twice, and like it took me like 40 minutes to get a drink. I was like, no, that is too many people.
And sometimes it would take people 40 minutes just to get in the damn door. Like, it was like something else. But they had karaoke's, and if I remember right, I feel like they started out on
Sundays and Wednesdays.
Yep, Sundays and Wednesdays, and then didn't they switch to Thursdays? At one point, it was like something like Sundays and Thursdays.
Maybe.
And that was our spot. A shout out to DJ Jimmy. Oh my God, me and Jimmy had the same birthday. Side note, March 22nd. Hey, but. It was just one of those things. And so we would go to karaoke, and I don't know the exact moment that we met, but I do remember that we met at a karaoke night. And at the time, I was a smoker. I used to smoke cigarettes. And I do remember specifically being outside.
Yeah.
And I remember you being outside. And we had a mutual friend that used to always come.
Yeah, I think you had met him first. Because he always wanted you to sing My Eyes on the Sparrow or whatever.
Yeah.
This is correct too. I think he did get you to do it at least once.
He did. He motherfucking did.
Yeah.
And so it was like, gallery was just one of those places where like it literally just brought people together.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. No, I talked to everybody there.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And we just literally, it was a karaoke night. And then I remember you actually went up and sang,
No Doubt, maybe?
No, it was All These Years.
Silent All These Years?
Silent All These Years by Tori Amos. And I remember I was like, because you know I'm a music nerd, I was like, that sounds just like Tori Amos. And like, I didn't listen to a lot of her, but I knew her voice. And I knew her enough because I was like, I always found her so interesting because she was just so dope. And I remember coming, I was like, I was like, first of all, yes, I was like, first of all, you know what I'm saying, represent, like, you know what I'm saying, us big girls, we can sing and we can do it all. So I walked in, I said, yes, honey. Come on, you better represent us big girls. Like, yes! Like, killing it. And then just, you were singing your face off. And I remember all of us, you know, my friend Diana was there. And when I think of Diana, I think of, like, all, like, the times that it was just the best. We were just the best.
Yeah.
But I remember Diana, and I remember Ro.
Yes.
Ro was so enamored. Shout out to Ro.
Yes.
We love you. We miss you.
Yes, I know. I haven't seen her since gallery days.
I know, since really. But Ro was enamored by your voice.
Yeah.
And, like, she was like, oh, like, you, she was just like, I love that woman's voice. I love her. She's the sweetest person ever. And I feel like it was just after that, we ended up just connecting.
Yeah, I think I'm almost positive the first song I ever heard you do is Love on Top by Beyonce. That was your jam. I knew I was going to hear it. I knew you were going to knock it out of the park. I knew, it was so good.
Oh my God.
You know what? I don't think I think it was kind of my, I obviously knew who Beyonce was, but I don't think I'd ever like really listened to it other than what was on the radio. And I don't know if Love, was it on the radio? I don't remember.
I don't.
Well, you know what? At the time, too, I really was like a BRU girl. I wasn't really listening to like more pop kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Or R&B and stuff, you know what I mean? So I wasn't really as exposed to it as I kind of am now, kind of listening to more.
So that might have been, it might have been, I remember, so actually, Love on Top came out about a year after we had met. Because at the time, I was doing If I Were a Boy.
Okay.
I was doing, that's what it was.
Yes.
I was doing If I Were a Boy. I remember that. It was If I Were a Boy, because Sasha Fierce had come out in, at the end of 08, early 09, I think or it was either end of 08, early 09, or end of 09, early 2010 is when, because that was when TRL ended, and Beyonce was promoting Sasha Fierce through, like, the ending of TRL, all that stuff. But I remember when there's so many stories.
I know. I have a good one about Ro. I can't wait to talk about it.
I was actually gonna say, should we like say maybe just like one crazy? I was gonna ask you, like, what's a crazy story you remember?
Oh, I've got a crazy story.
Okay.
So do you remember the night? I was really drunk.
Yeah.
That we decided, I can't remember why it even came up, but I was gonna carry your and Rose baby. Do you remember that?
Yes!
We had names. I think her girlfriend or wife at the time was pregnant or just had a baby.
Her daughter.
And then, but she wanted like a kid of her own. And you were like, I'll get my sperm. And then that's all would have been like test tube kind of things, you know. Yes. But do you remember?
Turkey baster.
I can't remember what the names were. I'm pretty sure Beyonce was part of it.
Yes! Wait! And then we were talking about, like, Water Melandria and, like...
I remember that so much. And we used to bring it up, like, months later. We'd be like, oh, let's go.
Right, come on. We about to listen. Okay. There are so many... stories, and I have pictures. I will never forget this for the rest of my life. Do you remember?
Oh God,
do you remember the moist towelettes?
Oh my God!
Listen! There was this group of girls that used to call themselves the Moist Towelettes, and they would perform.
Yes.
They would perform For Non-Blondes.
Yep. And What's Up?
What's Up? And I remember one time somebody slipped up and called them the Wet Naps. So after that. Listen! was drunk. I think I had one drink in me. Our friend Nate, shout out to Nate. Like Nate's nickname is Pookie. So Pookie was drunk, okay? And he wasn't working that day. And I just remember Diana and him, because I just remember the end of that night, we ended up going to the beach or doing something after we left. But I just remember that day when they said wet naps. When I tell you, I remember Diana and Nate looking at each other and damn near pissing themselves. And then Diana from that point forward was like, whenever someone said moist towelettes, she was like, wet naps. And we'd go to a restaurant and she would hold up a little packet of wet naps. Or we'd be like, we need some wet naps.
Oh my god.
I'm dead.
Oh my god.
I got a fat cramp. Hold on.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I had totally forgotten about that.
Oh my god. The moist salad. There was so many. I love. Side note, did you guys ever go to like karaoke places where people had names for their groups? Like there was the Moist Towelettes, the Hot Mess Crew that had Ray, and oh my god, and Jose. Oh my god, so many memories from Gallery. They used to have the best fucking pizza for some reason. I know,
like random, like
it was like Uno's Pizzas or something, or like
I think it was Elio's
or something.
It was like that cardboard, but you know, after you've been drinking all night, that was the best thing.
And they also had really good popcorn. They would make. I remember, like I got
and
really
smell
good
it, and you're like, all the drunk people would like converge on the bar.
You know, rest in peace to Bob Tivo. He was a massive, just LGBTQIA plus icon here in Rhode Island. He I think
he was like the godfather at
literally.
That he would sit at like the bar.
Right.
I remember one time it was when it had moved to Westminster Street, like right before that closed. Yes. I had done sound all these years, and he was there, and he like kind of called, like, come here. And it was kind of like going to meet like Marlon Brando. Yes. It was kind of like, you know, like and he was so funny. He was so sweet. He was like, he was like,
and his partner Kenny.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they used to they were just the sweetest guys, and they literally were. I feel like if not the pioneers, I think Bob was one of the first openly gay people to open a LGBTQIA club or bar in Rhode Island at the time. And if I'm also not mistaken, Club Gallery was like one of the first places he opened, and then it closed, and then he bought it back, and we came into the reiteration of Gallery. So.
Yeah, I remember it used to be on like South Main or something.
Something like that. Yeah. There was... that was the spot, and then
it was like my comfort place. I used to go, you know, I'm a bit of a bar fly, but like at this, you know, but yeah, and we would know all the bartenders. I mean, this is very illegal, but since it's closed, I guess we can talk about it now. But I used to stay there like an hour after close, you know what I mean, and just like hang out and talk and.
Same. I used to, you know, at the time Nate was working there, and we lived together. And I would be hanging out, you know, there with Nate while he closed down and finished up, and we were just sitting there hanging out, chilling, you know what I mean?
Talking, having finishing up your drink, going out for the last smoke, whatever.
Making pizza. We used to make pepperoni chips. They used to put pepperonis and put them in the little toaster oven, and we would just be eating them like... Oh my God, those were the days. That's what I love about this is why we love karaoke.
Yeah.
Literally, it brings people together.
It does. I had so much fun at that club, even on the other nights, because they had like a fetish night I used to go to all the time. Yep. Which is kind of where I hung out with a lot of like, I used to work on like little independent films in Rhode Island, and a lot of like film crew would come then. I did get some of them to come to karaoke like one night. I don't think you were there that night, but anyway, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, and we actually filmed some of our episodes, some of our movies there. Right. Yeah.
I did. Oh my God. Yeah. I used to do when I was first at CCRI, and I got into photography. I did some of the first photo shoots I've ever done with there. And at the time,
Bob was so great about letting us do different things for cheap, you know.
Yeah, either cheap or free.
Yeah.
Whichever, you know what I mean? And
yeah, we had screenings there, I think, a couple times, and parties to like raise money, and it was great.
Oh my God. Yeah. I remember, I remember the photo shoot we did. It was me and my friend Jesse Stuckey. Shout out, hey Jesse. And I remember we used it for promo. It's just such a good vibe. And then when they would have Pride,
Yeah.
It was so dope. They had a full grill, a full bar outside. The Pride block parties at Gallery were legendary.
Yeah.
Like, straight up legendary. Like, I remember one time there was a cop car there, and, like, Diana was drunk, and we were posing outside the cop car. Like, she was beating me up in front of the cops, and they weren't doing nothing about it. Doesn't sound too different now. But, like... Well, depending on where you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not all cops are the same. And what
your skin color is, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, hey. It's 2022. Let's be honest. Just saying. But Gallery was a great place to bring us all together. And I'm very, very happy that it brought us together.
I know. And then Hair did after that because we did. I mean, I think we were like friends on Facebook or something like that, but I don't think we'd ever really hung out like after it closed. Right. Well, then it reopened in Westminster, and I saw you a couple times there. Yes. And then, you were going to Tony and Guy, and I was working at that CBS right down the road, and you happened to come in, and I was like, oh my God.
I remember that. Oh my God.
Yeah. And that's kind of when we reconnected.
We should talk. One of these days, I'll have to go through it and look at the first time I ever did your hair.
I know. Yeah.
Because in my mind, I feel like you might have been like a coppery red.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was definitely a redhead phase for a while. Yep.
And then we
did all the colors. Yeah, because for a long time I wasn't able to do like fun colors, you know.
And now it's like,
bring it. I love it. I love it.
We like to have fun here.
I love it.
Period.
That's right.
Well, you know what? Let us know what your crazy karaoke stories are, or your favorite karaoke go-to songs,
or like how you met a good friend.
Yes,
I love stories like that. Yeah,
maybe at the end of our episodes, maybe we'll start reading some of these stories off.
I know, I love that. I love that so much.
That'd be super dope.
Yeah, in the description is a link it has our email, it has all of our socials, so you can hit us up on there too. Yeah. So we'd love to hear from you guys.
Let us know.
Absolutely.
Well, until next time.
Oh, thank you guys so much. We will see you. We love you. Bye-bye.
Love you guys.